Or possibly, could it be called India's Me Too moment? Well, veteran Bollywood actor Nana Patekar has been accused of sexual harassment by Bollywood actress Tanushree Datta. Well, she has alleged that the actor Nana Patekar had sexually harassed her on the sets of the 2009 film Horn OK. Tanushree, in an interview to a channel, said that Nana's reputation of sexual misconduct is well known in the Hindi film industry, but little has been done about it. Speaking about the impact of Me Too movement in Indian film industry, the actor opened up about a 10-year-old controversy. Taking Akshay Kumar and Rajnikant's names, Tanushree said that there is no hope for a better work environment if A-list actors like the ones I named, Akshay Kumar and Rajnikant, do not boycott actors like Nana Patekar, who have been repeatedly sexually assaulting women in the Bollywood film industry. Now, there are a few things which one needs to put in perspective here, that Tanushree Datta is quoting an incident which was in 2009. Well, there's nothing wrong in that and talking about it again. But having said that, till now, Tanushree Datta has not approached the police or filed an FIR or any complaint at all. Though, having said that, she has approached the body which governs the Hindi film industry. However, no action was taken on that. But now let's just take you back to the year 2009, when Nana Patekar called a press conference when this first time Tanushree Datta made allegations of sexual misconduct on Nana Patekar. Let's take you back to the year 2009 and the clarification issued at that time by Nana Patekar.
मेरा तो काम था उनके साथ स्टेज पर, और वहाँ हमने कौन सी बदतमीजी की है हमारे समझ में नहीं आता। इतने तकरीबन 1000 लोग हैं उनके सामने हो रहा था ये सब। मुझे एक तो गंदा लग रहा है कि ऐसी सफाई मुझे देनी पड़ती है। 35 साल हूँ मैं इंडस्ट्री में, कभी किसी ने मुझ पे ऐसा गंदा इल्ज़ाम नहीं लगाया।
Now, so this was what Nana Patekar said, but this defense came in the year 2009, the first time allegations were made by Tanushree. Let's take you through this entire case and let's put this in perspective. I'll bring in my colleague Pia Hingurani, who's joining us live for more. Pia, give us details on what this case is all about, because this is not a recent allegation made by Tanushree Datta. But having said that, there's nothing wrong with it, even if she wants to, make these allegations now. But has she filed a police complaint at all? What's the history of this case? What is the defense put forth by Nana Patekar?
Well, back in 2008, when this entire incident had happened on the sets of Horn OK, Please, she was just roped in for one item song that she had to come and perform. Now, she claims that, initially when the makers had approached her, Nana Patekar was not a part of the song. However, he kind of cajoled the producers to be a part of it, and he got really close to her, which made her very uncomfortable during the dance steps. At that point, she walked off the sets and refused to come back on on the floor until and unless, Nana Patekar kept his distance. Now, post that, she did approach the Cine and Television Association and did file a formal complaint with them, hoping that they would take cognizance of it, because she, at that point, said that she was extremely uncomfortable with whatever the entire scenario was happening. Post that, nothing had happened. The makers were quick to replace her with Rakhi Sawant, and that was the last that we heard of it. Now, recently, when a couple of journalists asked her about the Me Too movement, which kind of shook Hollywood, 80 celebrities came out and stood for the Me Too movement, right from the Oscars to the Golden Globe, and they came out in support, of the women in the film industry. Comparing that, a couple of journalists asked her, what about the Me Too movement in Bollywood as well? And that's when she opened out about it and said that, we still have a far way to go in Bollywood. Now, Preeti, not too many people have really come out and spoken about, sexual harassment that happens in Bollywood. Very few people like Radhika Apte, Swara Bhaskar and Konkona Sen Sharma have actually spoken about it. But like, Tanushree rightly said, Akshay Kumar or Rajnikant, who have worked with Nana Patekar, have not really come out and spoken about it. It's a subject that is usually brushed under the carpet for Bollywood. So
Pia,
yes,
I'd urge you right now.
About.
Pia, I just want to come in and I urge you to stay on with us. And we're going to come right back to the story. We're getting Tanushree live as well in just about 2 minutes from now. Now, there seems to be a Me Too kind of movement in India. It's not a movement yet, but yes, one actor has come out and called out another for sexual harassment. Tanushree Datta, back in 2009, had made a claim that Nana Patekar had sexually assaulted her. She never quite filed a police complaint on that. Having said that, just today and yesterday, when she was addressing a press conference, local journalists in Mumbai asked her about the Me Too movement. Once again, Tanushree Datta named Nana Patekar, even drawing in other A-list stars, stating that if stars like Akshay Kumar and Rajinikanth continue to work with the likes of Nana Patekar, who she says, as per Tanushree Datta, is a serial molester, then a proper Me Too movement is not possible in Bollywood. All right, so Tanushree Datta is joining us right now. Tanushree, I appreciate you joining us on India Today. My question, Tanushree, is one thing is common knowledge that Bollywood is a cozy club of a few and word never quite gets out. You have made very strong allegations that possibly, you could pay for as well, which is to allege that Nana Patekar sexually harassed you, is a serial sexual molester or an offender, and this is a claim that goes back to 2009, if I'm not wrong.
2008.
All right, 2008. Would you
It goes back to 2008.
Okay, Tanushree, would you tell us a little bit more about it? What exactly happened?
So I was shooting for this song for this movie Horn OK Please, and my work on the film set was only days, just for one song, and they had pursued me for many months before they could finally get me to give a nod for this song. During that time, Nana Patekar was not doing very well professionally, and his movies were not able to get financiers and distributors. So this movie, Horn OK Please, was also stuck as they were not able to find a distributor for this film. So they decided to rope me into the film because I was, at that point of time, the golden goose who laid many tiny golden eggs. I was popular, I had a market value, and I was extremely I was a rising star. And I started shooting on the set, and as per clear instructions between the producers and myself, the understanding was that it was a solo song sequence. It was not a duet. It was not something that was going to be picturized on Nana Patekar and me. It was supposed to be only picturized on myself. And because I had a certain clout in the industry, I had I had perks where I could bring in my staff on board whenever I decided to go ahead with a song. Like I brought in my makeup artist, my hairstylist. I also recommended the name of choreographer Ganesh Acharya for that song because I had worked with him in a previous film, and I chose to have a recommended choreographer from my side so that I can be comfortable with the steps and everything. Because we all know that sometimes in Bollywood things can get very uncomfortable, especially for new actors, and I had that position to make sure that I was not uncomfortable in any way. So my contract clearly stated that I will not be doing any dance steps that I don't deem fit for myself, or I will not be wearing any clothes that I'm not comfortable with, because we all know that Bollywood dance and song numbers can sometimes get very cheesy, with weird pelvic thrusts and all of that. And so I wanted to make sure that it's picturized in a classy way, because I was a Miss India with with a very good background, and I didn't want to market or portray myself in that manner. So anyways, all of these precautions were taken, and the records are there to prove it. But when I went on set, I found Nana Patekar lurking around on set at 6 o'clock in the morning on the first day of shoot, and I asked somebody, what is he doing here, because he's not supposed to be in the song. And the answer that I got was, we don't know, he's not supposed to be here, but he's just decided to drop in. Through the day, he had a very strange behavior. He kept staring at me. I even said hello to him, to which I didn't get a response. I found things a little strange, but I was used to strange behavior from some of these actors, so I brushed it aside. Next day, he started coming closer to me. His proximity got were drawing close. He started grabbing me by the arms, pushing me around, in a very crude and crass way. Tu idhar baith, tu idhar chal, idhar khadi rahe. you know, like literally grabbing me by the arms and pushing me around, and that was very uncomfortable for me because A, he's not even supposed to be there, and B, he's now pushing me around, and he's telling the choreographers to stay away. He starts teaching me how to dance, and the uncomfort just keeps growing. I realize what's going on, and I realize that I have to now speak up and complain to somebody. So instead of saying anything to him directly, I went to the producers and directors and I called them to my van and I told them, now please keep in mind that my parents were already aware of this that was going on the set. They already knew that I was uncomfortable, so my parents had also joined me on set. So I met the producer director, told them that I'm very uncomfortable with this, you know, pushing me around stuff, and I'm getting very intimidated, and this is no way to behave with somebody. What is he even doing on the set? Like, why is he even here? Now he's teaching me how to dance. Like, I have recommended the choreographer and his team to do this job. So it was strange, and the producer directors heard me out and they did nothing about it. Instead, 2 hours later I was called on set on the pretext of rehearsal. When I went to set for rehearsal, the producers, directors and the choreographer came and told me that now they have changed the step a little bit, and now Nana Patekar is going to be a part of the choreography, and that I have to do an intimate dance sequence with him, like a sexy dance movement with him. Now please keep in mind that it's not like I had anything against intimate scenes and sexy dance movements, but this was clearly a ploy to not only not pay heed to my complaint that I had made just 2 hours earlier, but it was their way of proving to me that it doesn't matter what I say or what I complain, they will do whatever they feel like. It doesn't matter what's written in my contract, it doesn't matter if I'm feeling uncomfortable or completely creeped out. They're going to do exactly what they want, and I don't have a position to say anything. So they insisted, they persisted, they kept insisting. They even called me names, and they on my face they called me names. And at that point of time, I decided to walk out of the set. My dad was trying to handle the situation as amicably as he could. These people, they took that as an opportunity to now create a controversy around it. They called the media. They gave wrong information to the media, saying that I've locked myself inside a van, I'm uncooperative, I'm unprofessional, I'm crazy, and all kinds of things, you know. And I remember we were sitting inside the van waiting for this thing to be solved. 1 second. The next thing we know, the MNS party reaches there, and we figure out that this problem is not going to be solved. So we decided to leave the set. The MNS party attacked us. I'm sorry, I've been giving interviews the whole day. They came with their goons, the MNS party. They attacked my car. We were trying to leave the studio. My mom and dad were inside the car. They attacked our car. They broke the windshields. They were jumping on top of the cars. All this footage you probably already have, because this was all happening in full view of hundreds of media people and hundreds of many news channels. So all of these are on public records in the public domain. You can get footage from it, you know, to get the details of it. So all of this, mob lynching incident also happened. Then the cops came.
Tanushree, can I come in? I just want to ask you one question.
Was,
and it'd be pertinent that I put this question forward, and I'm sure you'd understand, because would you not reckon, Tanushree, that this fight would have been possibly a little easier for you if you had lodged a police complaint? Because and correct me if I'm wrong, there is no police complaint against Nana Patekar in this. We did. You did file one? Okay. Could you give me details of that? There is a police complaint against it. And no action was taken.
That's what I was getting to. I was getting to that. We were rescued by the police. The cops had to come in a van full of 30 cops. They had to fire rounds in the air to have them open the gate. Nana Patekar and his team made sure that the studio people did not open the gates for us when we were trying to escape that situation, because they told them, do not let them leave. They wanted us to be crushed under that entire mob violence. The cops came and got us out, and of course if the cops get you out, they're going to directly take you to the cop station. They're not going to drop me home. So we went to the cop station, we filed. I told them everything that happened over there. That was our side of the FIR. But you know what? Even before we got to the cop station, the counter FIR was already filed from their side. And my harassment did not end there. For the next couple of years, my dad, my hairdresser and my spot boy had to do rounds of the police station because of their counter FIR. I don't know what happened to our FIR and if they had to undergo any kind of hassle for it, but my dad and my spot boy and my hairdresser, they were harassed for years. There was one time we got a call at home. Luckily the police station was next to our house, so every time my dad would get a call from those two or the cops, he would just scoot over with our lawyer. We spent money, we spent time, we spent energy, and not to forget the hassle, the complete sheer torture of even being in that situation.
So it's been, I'm sorry, 2008 you filed an FIR of molestation, sexual harassment against Nana Patekar, and you're saying an FIR that was lodged in 2008 till now, you were not, did you pursue it properly, Tanushree? Because these questions need to be asked to put the story out.
It was dismissed.
It was dismissed. Okay. On what grounds was it dismissed?
I went to the cop station. Went to the cop station. I have no clue. I have no clue. Their counter FIR was dismissed as well as our FIR was dismissed. I just know that my harassment was over the day my dad didn't have to go to the cop station anymore.
So you think you were hounded?
I don't know what the content of the FIR was.
Okay.
But I know that I went to the cop station and told them everything that happened. Because the law and order system in our country works like that. The law and order system in our country works like that. Anybody can just do a counter FIR. Somebody can come and do anything to me and walk away and then go do a counter FIR. Doesn't matter. FIRs don't mean shit in our country. Court cases don't mean shit. There are criminals walking free. There are murderers, molesters, rapists, people walking free. What are you talking about? And when a girl speaks up, then she's asked, all these questions are coming up 10 years back. Oh, this and that. No. You see the ecosystem we are living in. This is the kind of country we are living in. Victims don't get justice. This was a harassment case.
Fair enough, Tanushree. You have a point there where
in our country and people don't get justice because the law and order system is skewed in favor of criminals.
Fair enough. You have a point there, but having said that, this is the law and order system that one needs to depend on. But Tanushree, I want to ask you one more question. And it's important that you address that yourself because
I depended on it too.
Right.
And
yes, because you also, Tanushree, you have also said that the harassment by Nana Patekar has not been limited to just you. There have been other actors involved in that as well. So have there been other actresses who have also been harassed by the same man?
Yes.
Okay. So,
these are not things that I can prove on record to you because these are spoken in whispers. These are gossips. These are things that are spoken within the industry, that he is not somebody of good repute. He may have won national awards and he may have some skill in front of the camera, but he's not like the epitome of saintlyhood when it comes to his personal character. And the reason I say this is because the whole narrative that was spun around this entire incident was that this slutty, bold actress has put a harassment allegation on this super respectful actor. I mean, come on. In 2018, if we have not understood the difference between image and perception and reality, we are living in troubled times because we've had incidences of Gurmeet Ram Rahim and all of these Babajis who were like pure and pious, and they were all saintly and with a halo around their head and wings coming out of their God's incarnation and whatnot. And then you obviously years later you've come to know all the atrocities that they've been committing behind everyone's back while they've been so pure and pious. So this is an actor we're talking about, and everybody knows how Bollywood is. So just because somebody's won a national award, somebody's older, and somebody is has a garb. I have done charity in my life. Does anybody know about it? I have given lakhs of rupees to charity. I have done as much charity as I could, but nobody knows about it because I never made a hoopla and hue and cry about it. But some of these actors, even if they sneeze for somebody, they're going to make sure that there are 5 cameras following them. You really don't know how much they're doing, how much they're not doing. This is all image building.
My last question stems from
exactly the narrative I'm trying to break.
Right. So, my last question stems from what you were just saying. Do you reckon you're going to be alone in this fight? Because look at it. Till now, like I said, and I began the show with that Bollywood is a rather cozy club. Nothing much actually gets out what transpires here. Do you reckon you're going to be that lone voice, even if we are talking about a possible Me Too?
You know, I can do my duty. There's a saying in the Bhagavad Gita that you do your karam, you do your duty and do not worry about the results. And I'm following that principle when it comes to this fight, because I really don't know. Nobody knows the future of and the result and outcome of anything. I don't even know if I'm going to be breathing, 3 months from now or anything. But all I can do is that if I feel strongly about something, and if I have been personally affected by it so much that my reputation was trashed, and this whole narrative that was built around the whole fiasco that, oh, she put allegations on such a respectable person and now she's no more in the industry, that has sent a very wrong message out in the society. And when people asked me, this is not a movement that I wanted to start. I was just doing a regular interview with a print publication, and the journalist asked me, why do you think, Tanushree, the Me Too movement is not happening in India? Why is it not gaining traction in India? So I just gave a simple answer saying that why will it happen? Why will it happen when everybody remembers what happened 10 years ago, that my words just, were
Right.
lost in oblivion, and these people are still working with these big stars and big producers and big directors. So one has to give an example of victory,
Okay.
and one has to give an ecosystem and an environment of support for
Right.
anybody to come forward. So that's how this whole thing happened.
Okay.
I gave that answer became viral, and now everybody's suddenly interested in knowing
Well, Tanushree,
about
let's
me
just-
talking about that thing. It was not my intention to come out and speak
All right,
now,
so it
but
wasn't your
I guess it
intention
has
to
be
come out
done.
and speak now, but the fact is that you've spoken. Let's hope you'll follow it through. Let's hope, even if it is 8 or 9 years later, a proper investigation is done and people are brought to book there. But appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of News.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.